Hello and welcome to Chatter Cave, where we discuss everything from movies to TV to video games to whatever the fuck we can think of. I'm your host, the Dragon King Thomas Hughes, and I'm once again joined by my co-host, Nicola, aka Hayden Roberts.
Alright.
So, well, I made you suffer this movie, and I now want to blow my own brains out after this.
Same.
But today we'll be talking Jaws Revenge, released in 1987, 4 years after Jaws 3D. I don't know why they bothered, but the movie was directed by Joseph Sargent. The movie sees the return of Ellen Brody, once again played by Lorraine Gary. The movie focuses on her following a traumatic family death as she goes to live with her son Michael Brody, this time played by Lance Guest of the original Halloween 2 instead of Dennis Quaid, aka Beta Harrison Ford, who opted not to do this movie, and I kind of wonder why.
Shit.
Yes, it was. The movie follows the two Brodies as they once again must deal with a killer shark, which has followed them to the Caribbean. Because, yes, sharks want revenge.
That's how science works. Like, getting you focus in biology.
Exactly. It's not just how science works, it's how nature works. You kill 3 sharks, a shark will go, I want revenge now.
A random shark wants revenge.
Must follow them from point A to point B. But fuck me. Please don't. Why are we doing this one?
Because you're making us do it.
I felt like we had to stick with the quadrilogy because it didn't make sense if we did it, but I'm regretting it very much.
Why couldn't we watch, I don't know, Shrek?
I mean, yeah, Shrek.
What was you going to say?
Did you know what I said?
No.
I'll play it back later for you.
Oh, God.
But anyway, first thing I want to know is this film is in the same vein as Die Hard, as it's meant to be a Christmas movie. Why would you make this Punisher a Christmas movie? You want to have fun at Christmas? Not. What's Jaws the Revenge?
For kids.
Because Jaws Revenge. Oh my fucking god. Well, let's get straight into this then.
Are you ashamed to say that you liked this movie as a kid?
I very much am ashamed to say that. I don't smoke, but I must have been smoking some real bad shit back then. But yeah, let's get straight into this. So I think just in the same vein as Jaws 3D, it just takes forever just to get started.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it literally starts off with the camera underwater, if I remember correctly, the music kicking in, and it just following for a while before it goes to the surface.
I mean, even that camera shot while it was like halfway through the water, it was just like so blurry. It's like rushed and badly done.
Well, this movie was rushed. That was one of its big issues. If you read up on the notes, literally they were behind schedule a lot with this movie. It was mainly meant to. Oh, how many days did it say Michael Caine was meant to be filming? I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was only meant to be filming so many days, and he was practically filmed double that amount of days. That's how far behind they were with this movie. But I mean, I just think before you even see any characters, it just takes forever before it gets to them. So obviously from the underwater shot to the above water shot, and it just follows the above water shot before going back and sort of focusing towards the town and just not really showing anyone for a while. It had been about 5 minutes before he got started properly, before he was introduced to obviously Ellen and Sean. But I mean, Jesus.
Like most of these start and other shots, like scenes we talk about, were just dull.
It's just, but yeah, and obviously when it finally does get started, and you do obviously meet I would say the Brodies you're going to follow, but you're only going to follow one of them.
Yeah.
Spoilers!
I mean, technically, not even going to follow them.
Really. Exactly, it's like half and half.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like all Michael Caine, we know that by now.
Yeah, he's the main.
But we'll get to him in a bit, because, you know, we're still in Amity, which is a nice return. I do like the fact they've actually now returned to Amity, even if it's only just like the first, 10, 15 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
I do like the fact they went back to where they started. But the fact, obviously, this as you asked me when, I can't remember when we watched it or after you watched it, you was on about the fact that was this ignoring the last movie, and I was like, I'm pretty certain it ignores the last two.
Yes.
But
because obviously there are some moments in that, like even in the start scene, like, where he's just sitting on the boat. He's driving an actual boat. Where in the previous film, he was shown to not even like want to go on water unless there's boobs involved.
Exactly.
So
So
now he's just happily, but on a boat.
well, it's
So
obviously
it,
because
obviously,
he's part of the MTPD now. It's like his
yeah,
dad, which is probably the nicest thing they could have done for him before we get to the bad thing they
pretty
did
much,
to
yeah,
him. But yeah, I like the fact that obviously they sort of try to make him the new Martin Brody. But
yeah.
I mean, I think they should have stuck with that idea and actually had that as the main plot point.
Yes, because that would have been a good homage for that,
Exactly.
for a scene we see earlier, a flashback we see earlier.
Exactly. But yeah, so obviously following you finally meeting Sean again, played by a new actor once again.
Again,
I'm pretty certain that both Brodies have been played by a different actor every movie. But obviously you've
the first two you understand because you know people don't age that quickly,
exactly.
but this one,
I'm assuming either they didn't ask him or he went, I ain't doing this shit.
no,
Just
no.
like Dennis Quaid, I ain't doing this shit.
My guess is they asked the first, asked
The previous ones.
BTEC
Harrison
Harrison Ford. He said no. They thought that's not asked the other one then,
Pretty
because they
much.
look a bit weird if they have the same person from the previous film, which is not connected to, and then have a completely different person.
Exactly.
So they would, if they can't have the one, they won't have the rest.
Pretty much. But I mean, let's
And
just
again, of course, poor Sean in this film, just like the previous one, got fuck all to do.
exactly, which is what we're going to get
This
to
one,
now for the fact that Sean dies.
Yep, straight up.
He dies
He
within the
died.
first 10 minutes. It might have been longer than that, it might have been the first 15.
Yeah.
I just can't remember how long it took ages for the film to get started. I forgot what point it even started at. I can't remember if it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It just felt so long of an intro.
It was like his death scene was just
Badly cut together.
it was cringy, and it was just fast cuts and sort of done in a way so you don't see how shit everything looks.
Exactly.
But you still see it being shit. Like,
at least compared to the opening kill of the last movie, you do see some aftermath in the sense you do see Sean fall back into the boat, armless, screaming.
yeah, because his arm ripped off. Even though that looked ridiculous, because you can tell he's just tucked his arm into the coat because there's a massive big like
Shh. 80s movie.
space. Oh, it was so bad.
But yeah, I think for the fact that I feel sorry for Sean. Obviously, you can see his death a mile away for the fact that, like, oh, we need you to go out and remove this log that's stuck in a channel marker, was it? Something like that?
Some shit like that, yeah.
And it's like, we need to go and move it. And he keeps doing that scene where he's like, good night, and he walks out, and he's like, they can't do it. This and that. And then he's just like, oh, fine, I'll go do it. Just tell my family I'm going to be late. And obviously, as soon as he gets on that boat, you know straight away, he's dead.
He's fucked.
Exactly, he's dead.
It's like, what was the point?
Exactly. It's something that a lot of movies do when they do sequels. They kill off someone from the previous movie straight off the bat. I won't name a few because, you know, even though this is spoilers, it's still spoilers for those movies. We'll get to those at one point. But there's a kill in a certain movie from last year where they kill off someone who was back in the franchise for the first time in a long time. And instantly they killed him off. But I mean, exactly. It's something a lot of films do, and a lot of people hate them doing it. And obviously, we stay with the fact we hated them doing it with this because they spent in the last movie focusing majority on Michael.
Yeah.
Why do we need it again? Just give us a Shaw movie.
Yeah. Like, we don't even need to focus on Michael. We've already done that.
Exactly.
I know it's a different like universe.
It's a direct sequel to the original universe.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could have easily just done something different and focused solely on Sean. Or obviously split it between Sean and Ellen. Or just Ellen in general. Don't even have to have any Brodies. And you can have a literally showing following this incident of a slowly decay into obviously the fact she's lost her family, for the fact obviously they name dropped Martin dying
Yeah.
from heart attack, even though she claims that it was fear that killed him, because that's how it works.
Obviously, do you know how heart attacks work?
And obviously then her son dies straight after. Well, not straight after, but straight after she's introduced in this movie.
Yep.
And then they could have. I think what they could have done was had her go to the Bahamas and have Michael die as soon as she gets to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Well, Caribbean, sorry. But yeah, they could have had him die straight away and be like, oh shit. At least then you'd go, oh well, Sean's not the only one who got out of this movie.
Yeah. And have her like trying to look after the little kid.
Exactly. And trying to, kill this shark that's clearly killing her family. But I mean, as we stated as well, when they killed Sean, obviously the way they cut it badly, it's like, for like someone who's been in it since, even though it's not the same actor, but a character who's been in it since the first movie and has appeared in every movie to date.
Yep.
It's a kick in the balls that they kill him so badly.
So he hasn't got the justice.
They could have done, okay, it was I don't know what age rating this wasn't the UK or in America in general, but I mean, they could have had some really brutalish death to give it, as you say, justice for obviously the character. Like, for example, a Quint death, they could have done a homage to that sort of death.
Yeah.
Of it jumping at the boat and dragging him under. And on top of that, as we said, I said after he died, after he dragged it out, somehow he was still alive under the water. Then next minute got dragged under. The fucking boat goes under again.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking
why not?
Inflatable boat in the last movie. This one goes under, even though the shark didn't touch the boat. Somehow it then goes, oh yeah, I'm going to take the boat out so no one can ever find it. Gone. What the fuck?
Stupid. Literally, it's like Sean as a character, this poor character. First, you sandcastle gets broken. The first film,
then he witnesses that girl get brutally killed when she saves him in the second film. And in the third one, he witnesses
his girlfriend gets a little bite.
And now he just gets brutally killed. Well, not brutally, just shittily killed off at the start of this movie. Only good thing from this is the fact he doesn't have to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Quick paycheck, off you go.
He wasn't supposed to die. He just told them, yeah, I'll be on it if you kill me off in the first 15 minutes.
He read the entire script and was like, yeah. So you got a character that's going to die here. You don't know who it's going to be. Can you please make it my character? I don't want to be in this movie anymore. Why is that?
I know you wanted the character, this random fisherman, to die, but can you change it to my character because you've made a shit film? I
bet Michael Caine would have loved it to have been him.
I know.
You don't even know he just pops up. Oh, there's Michael Caine. No, he's dead instantly. But then again, if he died instantly, this movie would be more dog shit than it already is.
Yep. Because he was the only thing keeping us sane for this.
Exactly. But I mean, the shark targeting Sean plot, which obviously we spoke about, targeting the family members.
Yep.
When it sort of missed half its attempts. But I mean, it's a stupid plot. A shark does not target a specific person, a specific family, just because they've killed sharks before.
Yep.
That's just the stupidest sort of plot you could come up with. I know they've run out of plot ideas from the fact that they pretty much ripped off the first one with the second one, but added a whole going out on boats with kids sort of theme. They then obviously went to the aquarium with the third one. They're like, oh, what do we do with this one? Oh, why don't we do it so the shark wants to commit murder?
Why not?
Ugh. The only good thing about this movie, obviously, other than Michael Caine, is the bit I'm going to say next, which is returning characters from the last movie. Not the last movie, the first movie. Because obviously I was pointing out as we was watching it, when Michael flies back to Amity with his family, and he walks to try and find his mom for the house, and he runs into 3 women in the sort of lounge area. And obviously, I pointed out the fact that the one was the mom and the little boy who died in the first one. The other one was the woman from the town hall in the first two. And I don't think the third one was anyone, but yeah, I like the fact that they did bring characters back. They weren't just one person brought back and that was it. They did actually bring back other characters to say, oh yeah, this did happen in the Jaws universe. Easy paycheck for all of them. Because they're in it for 5 seconds, and then they're gone.
It's true. It was a nice little callback.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain they're probably glad they never finished the rest of this movie. Oh, fucking hell. But don't worry, we're not going to bore you crap much longer, because now we're getting to the best part. Michael bloody Caine.
Beautiful.
Instantly, the movie's 10 times better when he comes on the screen flying. And
he always stays on screen.
Exactly. And he has this little fun moment. He's like, oh, you want to fly the plane to the little girl? And he's like, oh, can I? He's like, yeah, come on. And he starts starting to fly the plane. He starts obviously conning them by making it look like he's going to dive bomb the plane to the ocean, lift it up, down, up, down. Instantly, this movie was 10 times better as soon as he came on screen.
Because Michael Caine is just so much more charismatic.
Exactly.
Any of these actors could pull it off.
Exactly. I said to you when watching it, I would rather have watched a movie that was Michael Caine versus Jaws than watch Jaws the Revenge, because that would have been 10 times a better sort of movie. Then again, it depends if he could pull off a Yankee accent. I was about to say they could have done it so Michael Caine was Michael when he's really old. But it depends if he could have pulled off the accent.
Nah, I would make him keep the Cockney accent. And just like...
He's meant to be a New Yorker, but he's got a fucking Cockney accent. Hello, mate.
You say he's got a bit senile in his old age, and he's just...
he's forgetting where he's from.
Changing his accent every 5 seconds.
It could be a scene where there's like a sports game, there's the national anthem, American national anthem playing, and he's just there with his hand across his heart singing the British national anthem.
God save our great.
And everyone's just looking at him and he's like, what the fuck's going on?
We're watching American football, and he's like, oh, I don't give a shit, mate.
Football's football.
Football's football.
But I mean, they could have just took the piss this movie, because they tried to take the piss anyway with this film. But I mean, they tried to also take it seriously. They could have just took the piss entirely and done something like that. I think 10 times many people would have wanted to watch this movie than the small few that want to watch it. Because that would have been so much funnier and so much more enjoyable to watch. Oh, I need to start writing this movie out. Can someone contact Michael Caine? I want to get him in for this new movie.
Oh yeah, I've got contacts, totally.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, well, from this laughing moment, we got to go back to the boring shit.
AKA this film.
And that is the dream sequence, which we both complained about.
Oh, God,
the first one, not the second one.
It's so bad because you can tell it's a dream sequence.
For the fact that she's in the water, even though she's already had a go at the granddaughter for going anywhere near. She wasn't even in the water, she was above the water.
She was hanging above the water.
And she's like, get out of there now!
Oh, and it's like, then
like, but Mom,
a few minutes later, she's there swimming for the water, and you're like, well, she wouldn't be on that water because she doesn't like water. It's obviously a fucking dream.
Exactly. It's just like a really weird dream sequence that the film doesn't need.
Yep.
They could have, as I said, they could have had any type of nightmare. And the one I gave the example to you during the movie when we was watching it was they could have had a scene like Michael in the water or something and get killed quickly, and then wake up and be like, "You need to get off the water now." And he's like, "Oh, we're busy. We can't. We're this close." They could have done something like that, and that would have been like. At first, you could have been like, "Wait, is this actually a dream?" And then obviously when she wakes up, you'd be like, "Oh shit, it was a dream." Jesus.
Because he works
exactly
in the water. So it would have made more sense. Even though the fact that he works underwater doesn't exactly make sense, as I mentioned for the previous film.
Exactly.
But
Gotta have your plot, haven't
Semantics.
you? Talking of Michael, we've got to speak about B-Tech Kurt Russell.
Oh, that is Michael.
Because
Michael is
obviously,
B-Tech Kurt.
when we watched Jaws 3D, you straight away was like, is that Harrison Ford? I was like, no, it's Dennis Quaid. You're like, oh, it looks like a B-Tech
Looks
Harrison
like
Ford. And as soon as you watch this, I think it was the scene when he was running on the beach, was it? And that weird scene when he's talking to his wife, and then the next minute he cuts sentences, bolts randomly towards the other end of the beach, and his wife's like, what the fuck are you doing? I think it was at that moment you went, who's that geezer from
The Thing. I was like,
Yeah, The Thing, that was it, that's the one you referenced. And I was like,
yeah, because
Kurt Russell?
he looked like that version of him.
And you're like, oh yeah, it's B-Tech Kurt Russell. We went from B-Tech Harrison Ford to B-Tech Kurt Russell. And I was like, for fuck's sake, you're right.
Using the exact same joke.
Exactly. We've evolved the joke better than this movie evolved the franchise.
That's saying something.
Exactly. Well, it was not really saying something because I think people knew by the time this movie came out it was dog shit. Especially after watching the third one, which was bad enough as it was, but still watchable. I think they knew. Ah, shit, we're in for it again. But I mean, obviously when they're in the Caribbean, you do get that one point when the music kicks in. You see the shark above the water, and you're like, "Wait, what? It swam all the way from Amity to the Caribbean to go after Ellen, Michael, Thea, and I can't remember his wife's name off the top of my head. It's gone. But I mean, that idea is both. I keep burping here. It's both stupid and
stupid.
Bullshit.
Yep.
Because how would a shark know she's gone to the Bahamas? She fucking flew in a plane. Caribbean.
How would the shark know that, like, which one's a Brody or not?
Exactly.
Because think about it. Michael, his wife, and his daughter all live in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I keep making that.
You're making me say that, you asshole.
That's the Caribbean,
yeah. So how would the shark know? Oh, yeah, they're Brodies. It's not exactly like he looks exactly like he did when he was a kid. He's changed 3 actors by then.
Actually,
how are they?
4. Oh yeah.
4 if we,
Yeah, 4 if you do count the original actor, but I mean, if you count his actor change in the second one when he's all grown up, and 1, then he's quite. So, B-Tech Harrison Ford 2, B-Tech Kurt Russell.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, about 3 if you don't get the first actor. He's had 3 changes, but then again, you can say the same with Sean.
Yeah,
he's had 3 changes as well. But
how is the shark recognizing them?
Exactly. The only one who's the same is obviously Ellen.
Yeah,
she's the same actress from the first 2.
Like the first kill, even though the idea of him going after the shark going after Brody doesn't make sense. At least we know sharks have shown to come to Amity Island, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, like even mentioned in this film, they say great white sharks don't come to the Caribbean
because the water's too warm. He said, didn't he?
Yep. So why the fuck would it be here?
It swim from Amity to the Caribbean. It's the most over-the-top plot there is.
Did it? I like how in the third film, like a shark died from the other, but this one can survive going
obviously
from Amity Island to the Caribbean.
It went from obviously the water from where they rescued it to the tank, wasn't it? It was they called it sort of pool, didn't they? It went from one pool to another because they didn't know when they're treating it to make sure it was okay, and it went from that pool to the display one, didn't it? That's when it obviously died. But this, as you say, it swam through from the pretty much
different types of waters, which could
average amount of temperature of water to really warm water. And as you say, it would kill anything if any sort of species that did that. And yet, this big hunk of shit managed to get from point A to point B. Okay,
because movie logic.
Let's actually get some fun in this again. As once again, we're joined by Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
When he's on the beach and she's building a sandcastle with Thea, and she has that moment where she doesn't realise she's stepping into the water because she were like, "Why is she next to the water?" And next minute, I'm like, just wait for it. And she has that weird moment where she actually carries on in the water, but then instantly clicks, shit, I'm in the water, and she sort of freaks out and stands up and looks back into the oceans, thinking, is there a shark in this water? And she has that moment of like fear, which I like that scene because it starts off really nice and then it instantly clicks in her head that, wait, I don't like the water, which is obviously where that dream sequence makes no sense for the fact that obviously she's sort of frozen still as soon as she's touched the water. Well, as soon as she's realised she's in water, and yet the dream sequence had her swimming out into water. So why wasn't she frozen? But then obviously this leads to you seeing Michael Caine in the distance with his boat, paddling his way in, and then coming up and complaining about the fact that the fish keep buggering off. Again, he makes these scenes 10 times better.
You gotta love Michael Caine.
I do love Michael Caine. And I think everyone should. But the fact he did this piece of shit movie and still has a career.
The good thing about this movie, as like we said, it paid for his house.
Exactly the quote I've written down at the bottom of my notes, which I'll read out at the end. But I mean, good, fair play to them for getting Michael Caine.
Yeah.
But fuck them for making this piece of shit movie. It's literally a thumbs up and a thumbs down at the same time. Because
it negates itself.
Exactly. Them getting Michael Caine was a positive. As soon as they made this movie, it engulfed that positive and just ate it like a shark eating a Brody.
Irony. Back to this piece of shit movie.
Back into this piece of shit movie. So, the shark reveal to the main characters when they're in the sub, when he's like, "Oh, what's happening down there?" and he turns around and it's next to him. It looks so fake.
Stupid. It looks stupid, and the whole concept of it being stupid, like, why the fuck does it just fly past?
Swim.
Like jets and pin past jets.
I was gonna say it's a flying shark. That has made this movie 10 times better.
Water, air, same thing.
Jaws Revenge. This time, it's in the air. Dun dun dun.
It's just stupid how it ignored Jake, who is his partner in this.
Obviously, it ignored him because obviously the weird plot with the going for the Brodies. But obviously, we'll get to a point later on where it ignores that plot and goes to something else. But I mean, when you first see the look and design of this shark again, because as I've stated in the other videos, is the fact the design just goes downhill per movie. So you have this, even though it looked fake, you had this really good looking design of a shark from the original Jaws. You had a decent.
They knew it had problems. That's why they chose to not show it.
They had a decent enough design, not as good as the first, but decent enough for Jaws 2. Jaws 3D had a shit baby looking shark, and not as good as the original mama looking shark, but still, it looked a bit better than this. Yeah. And then it just looks shit. And on top of that, I pointed this out, didn't I? When we was watching it, I paused it and went, I want to watch that again, because I went, they've used the same fucking scene from the original Jaws. The scene when it jumps out the water, they used that scene.
Crops up
multiple times, which we'll point out every time we get to that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, why couldn't they just use, like, they could have filmed any sort of other scene of a shark jumping out of the water and got away with it, but I mean, they reused the same footage. As I say, not just once in this movie, but was it about 4 times? Something like that?
3-4 times, yeah.
Why couldn't they just make their own? Okay, obviously, that explains a lot about the fact they were behind schedule. And they're like, shit, maybe they should reuse footage, but I mean, come on. And obviously then, while this scene's happening, when it jumps out the water, it cuts back to Ellen, who's obviously with Hoagie, Michael Caine's character, for people who never watched this movie. And she's having fun with him, and she just stands still as she sort of has these weird psychic link moments with the shark. It cuts between her standing in this huge crowd and the shark jumping out the water. It's another weird and unnecessary plot that could not be a part of this movie and this movie still be okay. You don't need that idea of, oh, Ellen somehow got a psychic connection to said shark. It's a bit like, which movie was it? I think it was Friday the 13th Part 7, or was it 8? It was one of them. The main character, for some reason, has a psychic link to Jason the entire film. So every time a kill would happen, she was sort of witnessing said kill and having sort of these moments. I think it was 7, actually. She kept having these sort of psychic episodes. Because obviously, as most people know, Friday the 13th Part 7 was Jason versus Carrie, pretty much. Because that was needed as a film for some weird reason.
But that moment when she's like, "Oh, I sense that she can sense this shark attack."
Sense the serpents in the force, I do.
Literally, as when we were watching it, I just scrawled in my notes in massive bold letters. How the fuck could you tell the shark attacks? Literally, that was the start for me where I started going through some mental spiral, going completely mad. Every single shit thing that happened.
Didn't you realise Jaws the Revenge is actually a Star Wars movie?
No, I did not. I don't know she had the Force.
The Force is strong in this one.
Oh.
Wait, no, the Younglings!
I love killing younglings.
So obviously then, after this scene, we go... It's to Michael talking with Jake, and he's like, "Oh, don't tell anyone about the shark. We need to find out more about it ourselves." And he goes, "Especially don't tell my mom." I just think that's a really dumb trope, as it makes him the opposite of his dad. Because you look at the first two, as soon as the shark appeared, he called out to the mayor, to everyone in town, "There's a shark in these waters.
Don't go in the water.
Don't go in the water."
Now he's like, "I don't give a shit if my mum and my
daughter and my wife
and my daughter
and my best friends all die."
Fuck 'em.
Exactly. He could have saved so many. Well, I say so many lives. I mean,
he could one person's life.
2
could have saved that one person's life.
Oh yeah, good point. 1, because obviously the Sean death happened prior to the Caribbean switch. But yeah, he could have saved 1 life. 1 life's better than nothing. Look at Justice League. The quote from Batman: "Save 1." That 1 life is better than no lives.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we don't trade lives.
Exactly. It's a dumb trope to give a character that
just the reason to advance the plot.
Exactly.
Because if you told them, they'd be like, "Okay, we won't go into fucking water."
Well, and again, they'd probably be like the mayor in the first 2 Jaws films. "Oh, there's nothing in the water. Oh."
Yeah, and then they'll die.
Maybe that's why they decided not to do that, because they're like, "Oh, maybe the audience would be like, oh, we're just replicating the same scene."
Yeah, but then they're also going to be complaining how shit it is.
But yes, it's still a dumb thing to make Michael want to do, as you say, with his dad being the opposite of that. It could have just saved that 1 life. It could have saved us another goddamn hour of this awful movie. Because this was about what? Was it about half hour into it, something like that?
Something like that.
Maybe just
I don't
over.
know, I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't, but I was sort of guessing off the top of my head. I'm pretty certain it was just about 35 minutes into it, so the movie is about an hour and a half, so could have saved us an hour, just under an hour. Thanks, Michael, you BTEC Kurt Russell prick.
I know, yeah.
Go back to Halloween 2. It's the only movie you're good for. Oh, wait, you've never seen that movie, so that's a bad example.
I haven't seen...
Then again...
I've only seen 1 Halloween film, haven't I? That was the reboot one.
Well, the reboot sequel.
The latest.
Ignore every other movie that's ever been made, just focus on the first.
Yeah, that one.
It's the only one I showed you, just so I could show you that one musical scene. I was like, this one scene's awesome.
Pretty much.
Eventually we'll cover that film in this reviews. Breakdowns, whatever you want to call them. But
analysing. Which this film was so hard to do.
Exactly.
It was so hard to analyse it because it was fucking boring.
Exactly.
Back to Alfred taking the spotlight.
Well, that's a bit of my notes. Next is Michael Caine.
Yeah.
I just love how the fact that he's meant to be a supporting character, but
he's like,
every time he appears on screen, he steals the spotlight every
'Cause it's fucking
goddamn
Michael
time.
Caine.
I feel like they added some scenes to this movie, like the casino scenes,
Yep.
just to give him more screen time and get more out of him, so basically their money's worth, and just to keep people
Pretty much.
interested enough. Because obviously it cuts to him playing is he poker or some card game, playing something with dice. I don't know what it was. I'm not a poker or casino guy, so let's just say,
You can ask James.
yeah. Let's just say the dice game. He was playing
Yeah,
the dice
pretty
game, and it's a funny moment. He's like, "Oh, Ellen, do you want to roll these for me?" And she's like, "Oh no, I don't know how." He goes, "I'll just roll them," and she loses all his money. He's like, "It doesn't matter. You win some, you lose some."
Trying to think what it is. Can't think.
Yeah, let's just call it the dice game. It's easy enough for us. And also, people
dice
can
game.
then say we're just idiots in
We
the
are.
comments below, because we are idiots, and I could have easily looked up the name of that game and wrote it down beforehand. But you know, this movie doesn't deserve my attention span for longer than what, an hour.
Yeah, I mean, like I only wrote 2 pages worth of notes.
I've come into this.
I struggled with that as well.
Yeah, I've literally come into this analysis with fuck all sleep, and I just didn't give a shit. I wanted to get this out of the way with, so we can actually do a decent film, or as I say, a watchable movie. But yeah, let's continue, shall we?
If we have to.
Yeah, we have to. We promised we would.
Right.
It's set in stone from last week, so we got it. The one thing I moaned about to you when watching this was the constant date changing.
Yeah.
Because one moment it was before Christmas, it was like, I won't say Christmas Eve, it was like a few days before Christmas.
Yeah.
Then next minute it was Christmas Eve.
Then Christmas Day.
Instantly Christmas Day. And then
Then
instantly New Year's. And then days after New Year's. It's a badly paced movie. They just put these scenes in. It's so like, oh, we want this set over this time span, but we've got to do really quick cuts to these days. But I mean, you look at, for example, The Witcher. That is a fine example of something that does a lot of time jumps, but does it right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's confusing at times when you're trying to go, okay, is this timeline? Is this timeline? But I mean,
yeah. But each one, they always have something subtly explaining what time it is in.
Exactly.
Like, for example, at the start, you got Queen Calanthe like talking about showing her, and then she references something about how she won her first like battle as a kid, and then jump back to time you've got Geralt and that witch bitch girl from the start. She mentions about the exact same battle that Calanthe just won when she was 9, like a kid. So that way, it sort of things to show what the timeline it's in. You don't realise until you watch it the second time. But it's done really good. This is done really badly.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, just show you. It's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Day. This thing is stupid.
But before we actually say what I'm going to say next, I want to take my hat off, even though I'm not wearing a hat, for the fact that you actually remembered a character, like a sort of minorish character's name.
What?
As soon as you said the name, I was like, wait, I might have to Google this to make sure you got the right name. And I'm just like, if you did, fuck me. It takes me a lot. I have to write down some names. Then again, it depends. Some films and TV shows I just remember instantly. But,
yeah.
I mean, like a name like that, I wouldn't remember. And props to you for remembering that.
I've not long watched The Witcher again, so
I've only seen it.
That.
I've only seen it through once. I need to watch it again at some point. But I keep restarting loads of TV shows and just never get around to finishing them. Swamp Thing.
Same.
I restarted watching that and never finished watching it again. But yeah, this movie's a prime example of a poorly paced 1 hour and a half movie.
And as well, like, they tried to copy the first film by having like taking time to slow down the film and build up the characters, like the first film did. But the first film did it in a way it balanced between the action and the like characterization scenes. Whereas this is just like pure characterization and like a few shock attacks.
Exactly.
Adding for spice.
Exactly. But I mean, one of the things I will say is the fact that, especially after watching the previous three was set over a course of like a day or two.
Yeah.
I think it was Jaws 3D was like over 2-3 days, wasn't it? Something like that.
Something
And
like that, yeah. 'Cause he was,
same as the first two, they were set like over the course of like 2 or 3 days. But I mean, this is set over the course of essentially like a month. But I mean, it just throws you off instantly. My chair's in my head and it keeps squeaking. That's not me.
Sure,
It's
that's why
not me. It's not me farting on mic. It's my chair squeaking. It's old. It's an old chair. So if you hear any sort of squeaking sounds, it's not me. It's the chair.
Sure.
If it was me, I'd own up to it instantly.
Yeah,
I'm
you would,
pretty sad I
Chase.
don't have that much in me to let go.
Depends if it's actually the squeaking is from the chair.
Or my ass.
Yeah, or you're doing other things. You could be doing other things. Don't know why it was squeaking, but you know, maybe that's how your thing's built.
Anyway, back to the movie. Because we usually go off topic, but that is way off topic.
Because we don't want to talk about this fucking film.
I'd rather talk about my squeaky chair, which is definitely not me farting. Because I'm definitely not. It is my squeaky chair. So, the next bit, which is what you spoke about, was the fact that Michael is basically the new Hooper.
Yep.
Which this doesn't make sense. The fact it's never been hinted at the fact that he has a passion for, in a sense,
Yeah.
being in the water, being an oceanographer, and studying, like, in a sense, sea life. There's never
Yeah.
been this sort of hint in any others. It's just like, where's this come from? It's just unnecessary. Obviously, plot
It's like-
reason, he's got to be out in the fucking water.
Yeah. But it's like in the third one, he was an engineer
Exactly.
and his girlfriend was the marine biologist. And now he's like way around in a way because she's there making art, but like out of metal and shit, and using all the whatever metal workers use. I don't know. I'm not a metal worker. And he's there
Metal
being the marine biologist, which is like, I know they aren't connected, but why is it such a complete deviation?
Exactly. And see, they obviously made him the Hooper, and the fact that obviously they already killed off the attempt number one at being Martin Brody. They then make Ellen
Yeah.
the new Martin Brody, since obviously she eventually wants to hunt and the shark and kill it. See, that makes
Yeah.
sense, because obviously it gives a character a reason for actually coming back to this film, not just
Yeah,
hanging out in
instead
Margaret
of just being
Caine
there
and
to
being
be-
Margaret Caine's new bit on the side.
Michael Caine pussy.
Margaret Caine's pussy. It's a good one, that is. I'm going to jot that one down. But I mean, obviously she played a bit part in the first two. She had a bit more of a part in the second one, but not a major
Yeah.
part. But I mean, for the fact they brought her back and they're like, oh shit, okay, so let's make her a husband, basically. That makes sense more than making Michael Hooper. That to
Yeah.
me doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously, plot reasons is, sort of got to happen, but I mean,
Plot reasons to get him in the water.
exactly. But
Because
I mean,
there's no other way to get him in the water, is there?
well, unless you do a Sean and throw a woman in the water, and then maybe he might follow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because, you
Anyone
know,
would go
I'd
there
say
for that.
Sean broke his fear of water in Jaws 3D.
Boobs.
Boobs.
So psychology works. Do you know that?
Exactly. It's throw something in someone likes. Like, for example, if someone really likes, I don't know, pizza, chuck a pizza in the water, they'll go in. Might be soggy, but,
So that's how we're going to lure you into getting by a shark. Okay, I'll write that down.
Wait, what?
What?
What? Oh, shit.
Nothing.
I've fucked myself over again, haven't I?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's my first time, but you know.
This is what I get for doing all your work for you.
Pretty much, yeah. The idea is you do all the
The work, and then you kill
Kill
me
you
off by a
off.
shark.
and steal your work off from you. And
free.
you look like it did the entire time.
Thank you very much.
So good.
Obviously, this leads us on then to the chumming scene.
Oh,
Where
God.
it starts off okay, I think. You're sort of like, oh, it's like the original, but it's not as iconic as the original because it's not obviously Martin just throwing it in, going, "Oh, come down here, chuck some of this shit." It's not as iconic as that sort of moment, but
Yeah.
it starts off okay. But it's when the shark appears. For me, I've got thrown out of it so much. I complained so much. The fact it doesn't help that he swims so slowly and it pans on it for so long. It just shows how bad this new shark design they built looks. It looks so fucking fake. What they didn't need to pan on it for so long. They could have showed it and then panned away to I'm on the boat and going, "Oh, it's coming."
Yeah.
not showed it for so long.
I mean, like you could see like bits of like fabric and off the shark.
Exactly. You can literally see that it's not a real shark. It's
It's
something they made.
fucking
But I mean, obviously, then this goes on to the bit that I was like, what the fuck? Because I made the joke saying bye bye during this scene. When they land the tracker on the side of it when he jumps out, when it falls
yeah.
back in the water, it fucking waves at them. Its fin pretty much waves at Michael, Jake, and obviously their crew. And you're just like, why the fuck did it? It takes so long to go down, and then fucking wave on its way down. It looks so stupid.
Liz is polite.
Yeah, at least it's polite. It's pretty saying bye bye.
I'm trying to kill you.
Your careers,
Bye-bye.
your careers will fail after this movie. Bye bye. But I mean, it just
Ugh.
looks so fucking bad. It's like, how the fuck did this get into such a mainstream movie? Because you can clearly see it's Finn moving in a waving motion. I know
Yeah,
it's
pretty much.
this is clearly the moment. It's like, oh yeah, we're not taking ourselves seriously. But I mean, you pretty much took yourself seriously the majority of the movie before this. So why not carry on? Why do
Yeah.
you have to do a waving motion? It just, and then obviously, as soon as they get the tracker on, they start tracking it. They start chasing it down. And while Jake's trying to concentrate on tracking this shark and saying, "Oh, we're losing the signal," Michael spends the entire time jabbering on about obviously his mom and Hoagie instead of trying to track the
Yeah.
shark. It just doesn't seem needed. Why has he got to keep thinking about? Oh yeah, they're kind of dating, but I don't want them to be.
So the only thing he's focusing on right now is the fact that sex.
Exactly.
Not that. Oh, we're chasing a fucking shark that's trying to kill us
Exactly. Why you got to
for
fucking?
stupid reasons.
They could have put that in any other sort of moment.
Yeah. Like
But
him
not
talking to
here.
his wife about it
Exactly.
or some shit like that. Not like some random his mate.
Exactly like the scene when
No.
obviously he's looking out the window at the shark. Not the shark, sorry. He's looking out the window at his mom being obviously escorted by a hoagie to the front door. They could have had him speaking then instead of just looking out the window randomly, and he could have had that same conversation. This just literally feels like they needed something to fill the time. So like, oh, let's just have him talking about his mom trying to bang Michael Caine.
Because he didn't want to like sit there while listening to that fucking beeping all the time.
Exactly.
Kind of beeping pissing me off.
Really weird. Beep.
Like,
Beep.
is that the way it was done? It was just like
He was trying to
it
rip
was
off
so
the jaw. It was trying to
annoying.
be like a new sort of theme instead of the classic dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay, but it does get annoying after a while. It's not. I think it doesn't help the fact it's not an iconic sort of sound. The fact that it's literally just a beep, 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 sort of pretty much obviously spaced out a bit more. You're like
Yeah.
bum bum, bum bum. It just felt really weird at times.
It's supposed to be like its heartbeat, isn't it?
I think so, but they did it before
Yeah.
that. They did it before this scene as well, which so I'm not too sure.
It's the way they said it, at least. That's the shark's heartbeat,
But it just seems
which they mentioned like so long. So after that scene, like a lot after that.
exactly. They could just literally just replace that bum 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 with the dun 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 dun, and it wouldn't have been as annoying. It'd have been like, oh, I like that theme. I'll keep listening to that instead of listen to these bum 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 bum. Actually, that was a lot. I was saying a lot better than their theme. Bum bum bum.
Fucking
Hold on, let me get my keyboard out. Bum bum bum. I don't have a keyboard. What am I doing? I'm using an air keyboard. Bum 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 bum.
It's like Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory.
I think I'm going crazy already. It's either this shit movie or lack of sleep. Probably both. Probably more than like this shit movie.
Yeah, it's a shit movie.
Obviously then, after this sort of weird sort of sequence, it then cuts to obviously, you see the shark like jumping out over and over again. Before then it cuts to Michael waking up, and it's like, oh wait, no, it's another dream sequence. You've already done one with, obviously Ellen. Why you've got to do another dream sequence now with Michael? It's just, it's not needed. It clearly didn't give a shit about the shark when he was obviously tracking it with Jake. He was more caring about his mom. Why is he suddenly giving a shit about the shark and waking up from, obviously, the dreams?
Because of the reason to advance the plot.
It just... Ugh. Obviously then, after this, it goes to that fucking scene which we complained about a lot when they mimic the first movie scene, the kid copying his dad, but in this version, it's obviously the little girl copying obviously her dad, and we was like, this makes no sense for the fact it's the wrong kid, so obviously Michael was never present at the time when Sean was doing this moment.
Yeah.
It just feels out of place for this movie.
Yeah.
And it just feels very forced on the audience for them to go, oh, I remember this. I remember.
It's like, literally, that scene would have been so much better
if it was Sean.
Because, like, remember like, how Sean, like his dad, he's a police officer like his dad.
Exactly.
That would have worked so well, because it shows the idea of him as a kid copying his dad, and now...
Exactly, he's a cop, he's obviously part of the Amity PD like his dad, and he's got a kid, and he's doing the exact same thing he did with his dad. That would have made a lot more sense then. Oh yeah, it's Michael Brody's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Badly, I might add.
When we've shown that Michael is also a bad copy of...
Hooper.
But Hooper. Yeah, he's Hooper.
Yeah, it's Hooper, not Martin.
That's what I mean.
We explain this.
He's copying Hooper. He's not copying Martin.
Exactly.
So why the hell is he seen like that?
Exactly, and obviously after this...
The only good thing is it's cute.
Exactly, after this shitty sequence, with obviously Ellen remembering it, obviously, it's the only time she was present in a scene and she can have the flashback to remember this, because, you know, she could have some more flashbacks soon when we're going to be like, you weren't even there for that. But obviously, we'll get to that. Obviously, you got the second sub-scene, where obviously Michael goes under this time, and you got Jake basically doing the Jaws theme for his headset, which basically breaks the fourth wall. Jake is Deadpool before Deadpool. He's doing the dum 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 dum. He's like, cut it out, dum dum. It's literally, it's Deadpool before Deadpool was Deadpool. I don't know how many times I said Deadpool in that sentence then.
Deadpool, God. Deadpool. He was just...
I think I'd rather watch that right now than doing this.
Yeah. It basically, like, obviously it didn't exist back then, but nowadays it makes you want
to watch Deadpool instead of watching this piece of crap. Oh, fuck. And again, you got the scene when obviously the shark then attacks the sub, and you see it, he obviously destroys it, and it showcases so much more of how bad this shark is. There's not like a specific amount of times I can say how bad this shark design is. It is so bad. It's on a scene for many scenes, and it overuses it, and you could have just done it like the original Jaws and not showed it, because it looks terrible. It looks so fucking bad.
What is it? The shark design bad? You never said.
I know. It's not like I've been saying it in the last 52 minutes. But I mean, it just looks so static when it's moving. Especially when it's hitting the sub, it's so static. We're just headbutting.
Yeah.
Oh, I've managed to get my teeth on it there. It just looks really static. And you don't want that from this, obviously, thing. Obviously, I did read the fact Mark Kane was talking about the shot didn't work a lot again. But if that's the case, why use it? Why show it? Why not do the original Jaws of Solid and go, oh, we're going to copy you and actually do a good thing and not show the shark because our shark doesn't work as well?
Because it's what they did great.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jaws Revenge. And
you get revenge for this fucking shit film.
Yeah. Obviously, then you get the scene when it's chasing Michael through the fucking boat. And Michael pretty much goes through the smallest of hatches. It's pretty much man-sized, just a bit bigger, and yet the next minute it cuts to him turning around and the shark being behind him. How the fuck did it even get through? You can see why they didn't show it getting through. So I feel like this, is BS. It can actually get through. So we're like, let's just make the cut and hope no one notices the fact he just swam through this hole.
Yeah, we'll make a little cut. So he pops in the water. I'm like, no more because
no one's going to notice this fucking clearly bright as day
man's hole
getting bit through by a giant ass fucking shark. It just. It could have been
It's
such
not
a
like-
good scene as well, especially if you had the proper like Jaws scene in the background. If you had that and had this tense moment of him being trapped in a dead end with a shark, you get rid of the little hole and make it a big hole, so it can easily fit through, and it would have been a lot more better to watch than it can manage to somehow get through this small man-sized hole and still go after him. For fuck's sake.
Stupid.
Let's just carry on. We've spoken way too long already about this movie. We spoke more about this movie than any of the other reviews we've done so far.
Oh fuck.
Somehow, I don't know how. But don't worry, we're almost done. Because now we're up to the banana boat scene. Where Ellen somehow sees the shark chasing from like a mile away when no one else around this boat goes, "Oh, there's a shark there." Ellen, who's on the beach.
Special powers.
Yeah, it's a psychic power. She's on the beach. She's like Professor X. She's on the beach and she's going, I mean, its head. And the shark's going, "Get out of my head, Charles." Or in this case, "Get out of my head, Ellen."
No, my shark tingle. My shark tingle.
My shark senses are tingling. But yeah, it's literally just a plot point to get her getting attention to go, "Thea!"
Oh no, the shark's there. You lied to us. Blah blah blah.
Obviously, this is another basic kill, but at least it wasn't as bad as the other one was. It was done slow motion in case you get this shoddy ass shark again. But I mean, it was done a good way of you obviously seeing it jump up. I believe it was going for the girl, which is why you said, why is it targeting other people? I think it was going for the girl because the boat was moving.
At the start, but the way that they've done it is that they're not actually going for the girl. It goes for the closer.
I think it was because the boat was moving, and by the time it pretty much latched on, ready to get her, the boat had already moved enough for it to miss and obviously grab.
Excuse.
It's an excuse. I'm literally giving this movie an excuse to why this happened. I should not be doing this.
Excuse.
But I mean,
don't give an excuse.
That's more than likely the reasoning behind that. But I mean, it's a better kill than the last one, and it's a better kill than pretty much all the ones in the previous one. Even though there's not really any blood in this, it's literally just grabs her. You see her from distance, it just dragging her under, and that's it. It's a better kill than what we've seen since Jaws 2, but it's still a shit kill. They could have done so much more with it, but they didn't.
I'm not saying no. I'm still saying it has no excuse.
Yeah, I'm regretting giving this movie an excuse. Okay, so don't worry, we're at the final act now, which is Ellen chasing the shark, which forces her son, Hoagie, and Jake to go after them. You obviously said, was it the boat name? You said it's the most generic boat name ever.
Yes, like Neptune's Folly or something like that.
Something like that.
So generic. Like, as I said, we're watching it. Why not give it a cool name like Boaty McBoatface?
Boaty McBoatface. Where have you got that from? It sounds familiar.
That's an actual boat. Someone that they got his boat and it's like,
oh, I think I've seen it on something. That's why.
Internet should
I remember.
vote what it's called, and everyone called it Boaty McBoatface.
I remember it now. I actually do remember that's from there. Yeah. They could have come up with anything, obviously. They could have done like a slight nod, call it the Hooper or something like that, or the Brody, and no one be like, someone be like, "Wait, what did that say there?" Or the Quint, and people be like, "Wait, did that just say what I think it said?" And you obviously just look past it real quick, and you're like, "Huh,
yeah,
my mind was playing tricks with me." But I mean, not
then Michael Caine mentioned like, "Oh,
exactly," or just anything.
Just not like the most generic name ever. You go Neptune, good water, funny.
Exactly, and obviously then. This scene, it cracked me up a bit because when obviously they landed and you got the plane on the water, and Michael Caine's like, "Oh, don't go save your mom, I'm going to distract it," and he's like, "You like all the bloody same you are." Yeah, what's he say? What's his quote? It's something like, you don't. It's something about I'm not paying attention or something like that. And they're all the same and shit like that. And next minute the shark jumps out and he goes, "Oh shit!"
Oh shit!
Every time I watch that scene, it cracks me up more than anything in this movie. It just makes me laugh. It's just this reaction to it jumping out and just going, "Oh shit!"
Oh shit!
Oh, for fuck's sake! I just love that. It's the best scene in the entire movie. It's just Michael Caine saying "oh shit" in a Cockney accent. Oh, fuck's sake! But I mean, another thing I pointed out, which is obviously this is when the same shot of it jumping out the water is used again.
Yep.
And you shouted, "Wait, they're using the same fucking shot."
Yep.
Oh, and obviously you get the scene with them where obviously Jake gets taken down by the shark after we see Michael Caine survive the shark attack, gets in the boat. They're like, "Oh, we need to get this explosive into its mouth. You know, we're going to explode it for the third time in this franchise. Get this explosive in, then we're going to blow it up." And they're like, "Okay, we'll do that." Jake gets eaten. Well, wink, wink.
Wink,
because,
wink.
you know, why is it targeting him at this point? It's clear. It's like they went, fuck, we need it to target someone.
Stupid.
Let's just have it so it attacks him.
Like, they've already broke
exactly.
the shit rule.
They've already broke the rule anyway, but, I mean, they went through this moment, and obviously he gets out, and the explosive's already in its mouth. Michael comes out with that light thing, that flashing thing. Going,
yeah.
Ellen's still piloting the ship, sailing the ship. Fuck me, you got me talking about flying now. It's not fucking. it's not Jaws in the air. It's fucking a boat in the air, which is a plane. But I mean, a fucking shark roars like a dinosaur.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
I know
yeah.
it does in the original one if you listen closely, but it's so subtle. You can look past it. But I mean, this it's like roar, roar, every time it flashes, and you're just like, that is so fake. And then the one thing that you hated was the fucking flashbacks between this when it was cut into Ellen.
Flashbacks made no sense because none of them were there. Slow-mo that
exactly.
it was doing
none
was
of them
absolute
were
shit.
None of them were present at the time of the first movie, and it was cut in between it to when it goes "Smiley son of a bitch" and Ellen just rams the boat into this shark, which isn't okay. It's a shit shot, but it's better than what you get when it actually explodes because it cuts through fucking sequences of the shark obviously exploding, but it's clearly a model that they just blew up instead of the fake shark they had, and it looks, for a scene that's actually been on a big screen, it looks worse than Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League.
And that's bad.
And that was bad, yeah. This is twice. This is like 20 Henry Cavill mustaches at once, blowing up. But I mean...
And Henry Cavill gets away with that because
exactly.
Henry Cavill...
But I mean, that scene was bad enough. But then, like, when it went under the water, it showed you the exploded shark. They just used the same sequence from the first movie of it, obviously sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Why didn't they not just use your own goddamn scene? Just film something new. Just film like loads of exploded pieces, not the same fucking cut of the shark, which clearly blew up completely from the scene. Again, it's just stupid. Oh yeah, Jake survived, by the way.
Yeah, he pops up again.
Somehow he doesn't eat him, but, you know.
Yeah, somehow he managed to get properly. The shark had him.
Exactly, he was pissing blood.
His entire mouth.
And he somehow got out.
Completely okay.
Exactly. It's a stupid scene. But yeah, that one final note, since, you know, the actual ending is leaving with Hoagie. It's obviously Ellen's fucking off with Hoagie on the plane.
Yeah, because she wouldn't
the scene in the water, when obviously when you finally see Jake alive, you can obviously, because obviously clearly filmed at a massive sort of pool, you can see the backboard. You can see the waves striking the backboard. I don't know what it is. You can get some chalk out and start chalking all over it.
Oh, God.
But I mean,
don't get me started on those shit.
They could have done any sort of angle and got away with this scene, but they didn't. They just they actually showed. You can see it in the distance, it hitting it. They could have showed it from another angle where there was no board, the waves hitting it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. This shows how much of a lazy film this is. Oh, you know what? I think it's about time we just give our overall. We've done this way longer than we should have been.
We're finally finished.
So overall, this movie isn't the worst shark film I've ever seen, or film in general. But it's really bad, especially since they decided to call it a Jaws movie. The lack of deaths really hurt this film, and not just the lack of deaths, but the time between the deaths. It was right at the beginning, and the second is pretty much right near the end.
Yeah,
it's more of a family drama than a killer shark movie. The lack of explanation as well for the kids' new life choices. also was an issue, and just those weird dream sequences, they just did them so badly. So to sum it up for me, this isn't a Jaws movie compared to the others. It shows why they haven't made any more since, because this movie left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Both points going to Michael Caine and nothing else. As I said earlier, I'd rather see Michael Caine versus Jaws than this story, because since he had a better story. Because as you said, he made that quote at the end about another adventure. And he's like, "Oh, I'll save that for next time."
Yeah.
I'd rather have seen that than this fucking movie.
Like every single one of his little stories,
Every
would be
story
a better film.
better than this.
Film.
Just give me your rating, please. Just give me your rating.
You know my rating. It's 2 out of 10. Literally for the exact same reason.
Michael fucking Caine.
And 1 point for Michael Caine.
So,
literally it.
So obviously that gives it a Chat Cave overall rating of 2 out of 10, which clearly fits right into 4th spot. As I've clearly stated from every video, it's clearly going downhill. So from my 10, but it was 9 overall, to a 6, to a 4, to a 2. We've pretty much agreed on the last 3 to the exact wire. Other than the first one, obviously we had a difference in opinion. But I mean, every other one so far, we've had the exact same opinion of above average, below average. Not shit, but shit. But yeah,
shit.
I just want to actually say the Michael Caine quote. I managed to find it. And regarding this movie, he says, "I've never seen it. Somebody said, 'Have you ever seen Jaws 4?' I said no, but I've seen the house it brought for my mum. It's fantastic." Michael Caine, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause.
Oh, I gotta love him. Gotta love Michael Caine.
That's not me fapping, by the way. It's my round of applause.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Okay, so my question of the day: do you think in the near future they will ever remake Jaws or make a sequel again?
Probably for
money.
Don't use the joke again, but yeah, money. Most likely it'll be done for money.
So I'm hoping you came up with the next. So I actually have the second question, which I'm hoping you came up with your answer. I'm pretty certain I know which one it's going to be, but just like all horror these days, which with them making sequels that ignore previous installments, like Halloween did, when they ignored every single Halloween apart from the first one. How would you make a Jaws sequel that disregards 2 to 4, or could include 2?
No, as we mentioned, like before in the previous one for the previous film, is that what I would like to have seen was Orca v Shark.
So basically Jaws 3D, but
pretty much
better. Without the 3D.
Yeah, the idea would be like similar to Jurassic Park, whereas instead of like a shark getting into the park or this little it's like research center, it's actually more of they've already got the shark there. They like have the white shark, great white, rescued in a way, and the idea is like someone through some like stupid reasons accidentally releases the shark, and it's more of a fight to protect them. And for the idea of using both of the like Brody brothers and bringing back Hooper, because like literally the only other than the first 2 films, the third and the fourth never reference Hooper.
Pretty much.
And, like
they ignored him.
You want to bring him back.
Exactly, he's like one of the best parts, and they ignored him. And also, that's the version I gave you of my sort of take, was similar vein to this, with Michael dying at the start and focusing more on Sean as in the Amity PD, and obviously bringing Hooper back into it when he realises there's a shark present.
Yep. Another thing as well, bring back Spielberg.
Yes, not even if you have to bring him back as a director. We stated before recording not just before recording, after the film was bring him back like you did with Jurassic World as a consultant. He was not directing, but he was present all the time, pointing out how he would do a shot and how he would make this movie. And look what happened with that. Jurassic World became like one of the highest grossing movies of 2015, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty certain it was 2015. And it's like within like the top 10 highest grossing movies in general. I'm pretty certain. And it shows bringing Spielberg back. Jurassic Park 3, obviously, for us was a decent movie, but it failed as a Jurassic Park. But then they brought Spielberg back for Jurassic World, because obviously he wasn't part of Jurassic Park 3, and it made such a better movie, which is why probably Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom didn't do as good, because I'm pretty certain he wasn't as hands-on with that movie. But I mean, bring him hands-on with these Jaws sequel or reboot, and you'll get a Jaws movie that the audience wants to see.
works. And also as well with today's technology,
You can make a
the
better
shark
shark.
won't look
Exactly.
as bad. It would probably look really good.
Exactly. You can make an actual animatronic shark and look real. Which
I
is,
mean, like remember, like the Flash, no budget, they can still like make a really good looking shark.
exactly. Exactly. Which is a lot of films use a lot of animatronics for their animals, and they look really good compared to these. These look
Yeah.
shit. But I think this is where we should call it.
Definitely.
So join us next week as after a bit of a discussion, because obviously I showed you trailers for 3 different movies. I
Mhm.
thought, you know what, we better get these shitty shark movies, because the first 2 were okay, but I mean the third and fourth were shit. So we need these out of our mouths completely, these bad tastes. So I thought, let's go with the actual, even though it showed too much in the trailer you complained about, let's
Yeah.
show you an actual decent shark movie, and that is Bait 3D, because
Plus, it
that's
has got
a lot of Australian
Steve
actors in.
Tonkin, and she's fit, so
It's got a lot of Australians in, because as you can probably guess, it's an Australian movie. But
of course.
until then, I've been your host, Drunk King Thomas Hughes.
And we've both been held against our will by ourselves, really.
Please help us. And this has been Chatter Cave. Wait, you know what? You suffered enough listening to us talk about this piece of crap movie, so a simple goodbye we did today, so goodbye.
Bye. Stay safe and don't watch this film.
Jaws Revenge. Just listen to us talk about how bad it is. Bye.
Bye.